Toastmaster, Carlos Benitez, is an executive director of a nonprofit prison ministry. Carlos is an agent of change, a life coach, a mentor, and encouraging and mentoring career criminals to transform their lives into a productive, returning citizen in a Christ-centered manner. His speech will be highlighting the key components of transformation: dignity. Let's welcome Toastmaster Benitez with his speech titled Dignity, the Foundation of Transformation. Toastmaster Carlos Benitez.
Let's not obfuscate the call. Open your hearts to a second chance. Leonardo da Vinci, famous Italian artist, architect, mathematician. Tim Linger and Carmelo could attest to this. He's famously known for his portrayal of the Last Supper. They just went to Italy to check it out. Now, Leonardo da Vinci, when he wanted to paint the Last Supper, he wanted to capture the faces of the disciples, and so he searched Milan for a couple, 2-3 months, and finally he found the person who would portray Jesus, kind, compassionate person. He sat him down, and it took him over 3 days to capture him. And then for 11 months following that, every month he captured somebody else. Peter, Paul, John, until he came to Judas. He wanted to capture somebody that was sinister, that would portray the person who betrayed Christ. And he couldn't find him. He put that portrait down for 11 years. And finally, after 11 years, he found someone that would portray Judas. He sat him down and he started painting him. And about 3 hours into the painting, the man starts crying and weeping incessantly. And Leonardo goes, "Have I not paid you enough? Did I do something?" He goes, "No, master. Don't you recognize me? I'm the same person you painted as Jesus 11 years ago." Ladies and gentlemen, St. Peter Claver, the ministry I belong to, prison ministry, is all about second chances. We need to see the Jesus and Judases. So I will talk today about dignity. And when we think of dignity, we often imagine something grand, a statue, a solemn ceremony, the Pledge of Allegiance. But in my work at St. Peter Claver, I've learned that dignity is found in small, quiet moments that reminds us of our shared humanity. Today I'll explore 3 lenses: restoration, hope, and community. Seeing beyond our mistakes is all about restoration. There's a saying, every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. Restoration starts with seeing people for who they are, not just what they've done. Many of the individuals in our ministry feel invisible and unworthy of respect. Todd, I remember Todd, who told me, "I'm just another inmate, another number." He believed he was invisible. Our team changed that narrative by helping him reconnect with his family and finding him a house. But what truly restored his dignity was a pair of shoes. He'd been walking around in the prison slippers for 10 years, and even after his return, the day he wore shoes again, his posture changed. "I feel human," he said with tears in his eyes. So restoration begins with small acts, a handshake, a name, and yes, a proper pair of shoes. After all, who wants to conquer the world in a pair of slippers? Planting seeds on rocky soil is all about hope. Dignity plants seeds of hope, even in the toughest circumstances. And for many leaving the prison, life outside feels impossible. No job, no home, no support. Take Maria. Maria was released with nothing but the clothes on her back. When we helped her find transitional housing, She cried, not for the room that we provided, but for the fresh vase of flowers that we left in her room. No one's ever done something like this for me, she said. That simple gesture carried a powerful message. You are worthy. Maria found a job, has new friends. Now she volunteers with us and helps others. Hope doesn't require perfection. No, folks. It just needs someone to plant the seed. And sometimes hope smells like flowers. The third point, bridging the divide with community. Dignity reminds us we're all connected. It bridges the divide that people didn't think could be crossed. I'll never forget John, a former inmate who joined a neighborhood cleanup project. He was paired up with Mrs. Gonzalez, who really didn't want to be paired up with someone of that nature. But after a while and by lunchtime, they were best buddies. She gave him a sandwich and asked him about his story. And by week's end, they were real good friends. John later said, she reminded me of my grandma. So when we extend dignity, we build connections. If Mrs. Gonzalez and John could find common ground over a sandwich, surely we can, though adding chips and pickles might be a little better. Dignity just isn't a feel-good idea. It's a challenge. It asks us to see humanity in others, even when it's inconvenient and uncomfortable. In my ministry, I've seen dignity restore lives, ignite hope, and build bridges. But here's the truth. Dignity doesn't belong to me, and it doesn't belong to my organization. It belongs to all of us. So I challenge you, look for small ways to extend dignity. A kind word, a listening ear, a pair of shoes. You might be surprised at the transformation, not just in others, but in yourself. Because in the end, dignity is about building a world where we all have a chance to stand tall, walk forward, and thrive, but hopefully not in slippers. Thank you.
Great job.